Hey awesome people of YouTube, welcome back to another Baldur's Gate 3 video. In this one I'm going to be talking about a different class overview. It's not going to be bored, but before we get started I just want to say that if you do enjoy this type of video, help the channel grow by leaving a like, comment, and especially subscribing and sharing these videos. And if you want to see something else on the channel, do let me know in the comments, and whichever subclass we do for different classes, do let me know which one you like. And we do stream on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday around 4 p.m. Eastern, and we do have our own Discord channel, so do join it. But with that said, let's get into the class overview. So, the class is Barbarian. Right? Don't mind the race that I'm playing is Asmodeus. It's just because that's the highest level character I have. But Barbarian are pretty much they're all about strength. So you want to have decent strength, probably your highest, high dexterity, high constitution. Intelligence, wisdom, charisma, not necessary. I prefer to have a little bit of charisma just because, you know, if it's your main character, you want to have a bit of charisma just for the talking stuff. But barbarians they have rage, which means it's a bonus action. They consume a rage charge, which comes back, I believe, after a long rest. But when in rage, consumes your bonus action and allows you to deal 2 extra damage with melee improvised weapons and throwing, and you gain resistance to physical damage and advantage on strength and strength checks and saves. You also get unarmored defense. While not wearing armor, you add your constitution modifier to your armor class. If you do decide to wear armor, try not to wear heavy armor because it impedes your rage. So like light armor and medium armor are okay. You get, like I said, strength saving throw proficiency, constitution saving throw proficiency, simple weapon proficiency, martial weapon proficiency, light armor, and medium armor proficiency, as well as shield proficiency. You know, for the stats, I would have something like this. Oop, wrong one. No, you can obviously even go further and go something like this, or dexterity, constitution, or if you want, increase your charisma. But the stats are okay. Now, for your skill proficiency, it depends on your builds. Athletics is not bad, perception is not bad, but if you want, you can go intimidation, right? Pick a name, blah, but that's pretty much level 1, right? Level 1, you don't get much. So, at level 2, which you're about to hit, you get some cool stuff, right? You don't have to do it on this character, you can do it on Karlach if you want. So you get more health, you get danger sense and reckless attack. So what danger sense does is it improves your senses, allowing you to have advantage on dexterity saving throws against traps, spells, and surface. Obviously you cannot benefit if you're blind or incapacitated. But the biggest thing is a reckless attack. Until your next turn, you have advantage on attack rolls, but enemies have advantage against you. So if you do a lot of damage, you can go with reckless attack and do a lot more damage, especially if your chance to hit is a little bit low and allows you to get that high chance, or if you want to have pretty much guaranteed hit. Reckless attack is not bad. But again, they also have advantage on you, so be careful when you use that. Now, at level 3, here's where the fun begins. You get specialization or your subclasses, right? You get more health, you get an additional rage charge. The action is different. So you have your Wild Heart, you have Berserker, and you have Wild Magic. I'm just gonna pick Berserker for now, but we're gonna talk about different subclasses and what they do after we go through the levels of just your basic Barbarian, right? So that's my day's Tiefling, that's for your for your race. But at level 4, you don't get much. You get a new feat and you get more health. Right? For the feat, you can go with ASI or ability score improvement. That's pretty good. You know, if you wanna dual wield, you can go with dual wielder, or if you want to utilize 2 ender weapons, great weapon master is amazing, but be careful because it does give you -5 attack roll, but it allows you to do more damage. Another decent one is Tavern Brawler is if you're going to you're just pretty much using throwing weapons. That is pretty nice. You can go tough, but that's if you're trying to build a super tanky, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. You know, Savage Attacker is not bad, but personally for the first one I like to go with, oh sorry, you can also go Durable. It's not bad, but the biggest one for me is the Alert. Plus 5 bonus to initiative and can be surprised is massive, because that initiative allows you to go closer to being the first one in the battle order. So that's why I like to take it, just so I can be able to do my damage right off the bat. So that's what I take. Right? You don't have to, you can go with Great Weapon Mastery, that's all on you. At level 5 you get way more health, you get fast movement, which increases by 3 meters while not wearing heavy armor. So light armor, medium armor, and armor is will benefit with fast movement. And the big thing is extra attack. That allows you to get on a free attack, so instead of 1 attack, you get 2 attack. Pretty cool. Don't forget the darkness spell, it's again for Asmodeus Tiefling, so ignore that one. But getting an extra attack is massive. Level 6, you get more health, get additional rage charge, and well, additional rage charge is really nice. Right? But Mindless Rage is for Berserkers, so we're gonna kinda skip over because we'll talk about it once you get into the specializations or your subclasses, whatever you want to call them. Right? But primarily you get just a rage charge and a bit more health. At level 7 we get a beautiful thing called Feral Instinct, which is you have honed your instinct to utmost degree. You gain plus 3 to bonus initiative and can be surprised. So at this point, if you want to, you can get rid of Alert and go with like Great Weapon Mastery or a different feat. But if you want to be 100% sure you go before anybody, keeping the Alert would not be too bad. But again, going like Great Weapon Mastery while having Feral Instinct is still pretty good. Also, your initiative goes off your dexterity, so be mindful of that. Now at level 8 we get a new feat, and you also get specific thing for Wild Heart subclass, but you don't get anything for Berserker and Wild Magic Barbarian. But the feat over here is, if you have not taken a Great Weapon Master, that is a huge one. Getting ability improvement score is also really nice. No, but for this time we'll go with Great Weapon Mastery. If you respect and took Great Weapon Mastery, ability score improvement is really nice. Now, as you can see, you get bonus attack when you land a critical hit or kill a target with a melee attack. You can make another melee weapon attack as a bonus action. So, if you land a crit or kill somebody, you can have 3 attacks total. One your basic attack, another one through extra attack, and a third attack through the Great Weapon Mastery bonus attack. But you do get -5 penalty to attack rolls, but you do get plus 10 damage, which is pretty nice. Now, at level 9, you get Brutal Critical. You're trained to strike swift. When you land the critical, you roll an extra damage die as well as normal die, as the normal die additional critical dice. You know, so it allows you to do more damage. Right? Pretty cool. Also at level 9, you get some stuff for Wild Magic Barbarian, but we'll go talk about it later. At level 10, you get more health and you get a subclass feature, right? For the Berserk, you get Intimidated Presence, Wild Heart is different, and Wild Magic Barbarian is different. So, for the most part, the big thing is just getting more health. Right? At level 11, obviously you get more health and you get Relentless Rage, which is once per short rest. If you drop to 0 health while in rage, you gain 1 hit point instead of being down, which is pretty nice because it allows you to not go down pretty much just to massive hits. But be careful, right? Because it's once per short rest, right? Unfortunately, I cannot show you level 12 because I do not have level 12. But at level 12, you get an additional rage charge, and which means you can rage more per long rest, right? So we'll see how many charges we have, and then we'll go over subclasses. So since you have 4, if we had level 12, you'd have 5. Mind you, I cannot rage because, well, we do have a heavy armor. So be careful of that. But let's talk about your subclasses. So if you pick Berserker, which is what I picked for this one, at level 3 you get Frenzy, which allows you to, instead of getting rage, it turns into a Frenzy, which is a kind of like an improved rage, and it gives you 2 different bonus action. And you can make improvised weapon attacks as a bonus action. You get Frenzy Strike, which is pretty much you hit an enemy with your weapon as a bonus action, right? And Enraged Throw, which is same thing as first Frenzy Strike, but you throw the weapon and you have a chance to knock him down to prone. Right? At level 6, Berserk, you get Mindless Rage, which means while frenzied you cannot be charmed or frightened, and calm emotions no longer end your rage. It's pretty cool, especially charm or frightened, because in the later stages it's kind of a little bit more prevalent. Right? At level 10 you get Intimidating Presence, which means menacing an enemy and instill a terrible fear in them, which might make them fear, or make them fear you. If the target resists the effect, it can be targeted again until long rest. On a subsequent turn, next turn, you can use Maintain Intimidating Presence to prolong the target's fear, right? Which means if they fear, they can pretty much do anything except for attack from their spot, which is pretty cool. Now for Wild Heart Barbarian, it's a little bit different, because Berserkers, just run head and first, just smack everything. Right? Wild Heart Barbarians is a little bit different, right? They're all about attunement with the nature, and its beast inspires your rage, empowering you with the supernatural might, right? So at level 3, you get to speak with the animals, and it recharges every long rest, and it lasts until a long rest. So if you don't have anybody and you want to play Wild Heart Barbarian, it is pretty cool, because there's some cool dialogue, some cool quests that you can get from speaking with the animals. But you also get to pick your bestial heart. There are several of them: Bear Heart, Eagle Heart, Elk Heart, Tiger Heart, and Wolf Heart. So for Bear Heart, while raging, you can use Unrelenting Ferocity and have resistance to all damage except physical damage, or psychic damage, sorry. Eagle Heart allows you to use Divine Strike full, which means the enemies will have disadvantage on opportunity attacks against you, and you can use Dash as a bonus action. Now Elk Heart is, while raging, you can use Primal Stampede, and your movement speed increases by 4.5 meters or 15 feet, which is pretty cool. Allows you to move further. Now for Tiger Heart, while raging, you can use Tiger Bloodlust and increase your jump distance by 4.5 meters or 15 feet, which is pretty cool, but honestly probably not my favorite. Wolf Heart. Now when you have a Wolf Heart, you can use, while raging, you can use Inflict Howl, which means your allies have advantage on melee attack rolls against enemies within 2 meters or 7 feet of me. You also get some cool piercings. It depends on which heart you picked. Now level 6, you get to choose an aspect from a bunch of stuff. So if you choose Bear, you get double carry capacity, and you have advantage on strength checks. If you pick Chimpanzee, you have resistance to fall damage and throwing camp supplies blinds targets, which I don't know why you would do that, but resistance to fall damage is not bad in certain situations, but most of the time not really. Now if you pick Crocodile aspect, you have increased movement speed by 3 meters or 10 feet while standing in water-based surfaces. On slippery surfaces, you also have advantage on saving throws against being knocked prone. Eagle allows you to see in the dark up to 12 meters, and you gain proficiency or advantage on perception checks. Elk guarantees you and your allies nearby allies in 18 meters or 16 feet plus 1.5 or 5 feet permanent movement speed, which is pretty cool, but not super needed, but it is pretty nice. Now for Honey Badger, if you're poisoned, frightened, or charmed at the start of the turn, you have 50% chance to begin raging without expending rage charge, which honestly kinda eh. Now for Stallion, dashing grants you temporary hit points equal to twice your Barbarian level. Doesn't seem too great. Now if you have Tiger One, you gain an additional strength modifier to attack rolls against bleeding or poison targets, and you gain proficiency in survival. So you have somebody who can make enemies bleeding and poisoned. It is not bad. Now for Wolf, you and nearby allies in 18 meters or 60 feet add their dexterity modifier as a bonus to your stealth check or their stealth checks. And Wolverine, when you attack a bleeding or poison target, you inflict maim on them. So out of them all, Wolverine is really nice if you can make targets bleed or poison, because maiming them is really nice. Now at level 8, you gain landslide difficulty terrain, which means you become an expert moving through wilderness. Difficult terrain no longer slows you down. Which is really nice. And at level 10, you may select an additional aspect of the beast to benefit from, in addition to your current one. So if you pick Wolverine, you can pick like elk or bear or wolf, whatever you want. Right, that's for Wild Heart Barbarian. Now Wild Magic Barbarian are a little bit different. They kind of like a wild magic sorcery, they're a little bit fun sometimes. But at level 3, when you rage, you cause a randomly rolled wild magic effect. Some of those stuff can be activated in the next turn as a bonus action. So they are like weapon infusion, which magic infuses your weapon and you gain additional 1d6 4 damage against damage. Sorry, you get 1d4 or 1d6 force damage, and you gain light and thrown weapon proficiency. If thrown, it reappears at your hand at the end of the turn for your weapon. Now magic attribution, if you are protected by wild vengeful magic, which means if you get hit, the enemies that hit you take 1d6 force damage in retaliation. Protective light, you and nearby allies in 3 meters or 10 feet have +1 bonus to armor class. Pretty cool. Now, intelligible spirits, I apologize. Each turn, as a bonus action, you can choose to summon a spectral flump, and if the flump explodes at the end of your turn, dealing 1d6 force damage to anyone within 4.5 meters. If they failed a dexterity saving throw. Ball of lightning. On each turn, you can pretty much throw a magic bolt of lightning, which does 1d6 damage, and it's a bonus action. It can blind them if they fail Constitution saving throw. So pretty cool. Now wine growth. Flowers and wine appear outwards from you in a radius of 4.5 meters or 15 feet, creating a difficult terrain to anyone other than you, which is pretty cool if there are a lot of enemies that are up ahead of you and you can put on a choke point. Okay. Teleport. Each turn you can use teleport as a bonus action to teleport anywhere you see in a space of 18 feet or 60 meters, as long as you can see it. Now dark tendrils is another one. The last one is shadow tendrils slash outwards from you. Each creature within 9 meters or 30 feet must succeed a Constitution saving throw or take 1d12 necrotic damage. Additionally, you gain 1d12 temporary hit points, which is pretty cool. And you gain magic awareness. Anyone within 3 meters or 10 feet range of you as their proficiency bonus to saving throws against spells, which is pretty cool. Now at level 6, Wild Magic gets Bolstering Magic Boon. You or an ally receive 1d4 bonus to attack rolls and ability checks for 10 turns. You can also get Bolstering Magic level 1 spells, level 2, which means they either recover level 1 spell slot or a level 2 spell slot. Not bad, but kinda eh. Level 9, you get the same thing but for level 3 spell slot, which can be pretty cool, especially for like your sorcerers or wizards that can do like fireball. Pretty cool. Now at level 10, you get Unstable Backlash. While enraged, when you take damage or fail a saving throw, you trigger another wild magic effect that replaces the current one. But it counts as a reaction and can be set, and you can set it on or off. But that is it for Barbarian and its three subclasses, the Berserker, Wild Heart, and Wild Magic. Personally, Berserker is pretty cool. Wild Magic is a little less cool, but it is fun, and Wild Heart is alright. But that's up to you which one you want to play. Do let me know which one out of the three subclasses that you kind of like. But with all that said, don't forget to stay awesome. I'll see you in the next one, and bye bye.